The Mosconi Cup is back in Vegas, and for one team in this transatlantic tussle, there's a hope that home advantage will make all the difference. It's USA who are looking to overturn a recent good run from the Europeans. There's no better place to restake a claim to Nineball's most famous trophy than the Tropicana in Vegas. A year ago, Europe reigned supreme, the setting Blackpool, and one of the most electric atmospheres seen in Nineball. The USA led the initial charge, taking an early lead, but by the end of day one, it was Europe who held a slight advantage. The narrowest of advantages was not to be relinquished throughout the 4 days at Blackpool. The USA briefly threatened, occasionally drew level, but Europe always found a way to surge ahead. By the third day, Europe looked like running away with the trophy, but the Americans held on to take it to a final session. In the end, the 11-5 scoreline was just reward for a determined and fired-up European side. In 2016, the Americans are gambling on the fact that the last time they won, it was here in Vegas. Shane Van Boening is the experienced player leading the charge. Corey Deuel, Mike Deshane, Justin Bergman, and Skylar Woodward complete the lineup. For Europe, there are plenty of familiar names: Carl Boyes, Nick Vandenberg, Niels Fyen, Darren Appleton, and making his debut, Albin Ocean. The team match proved the perfect curtain raiser to the 22nd staging of the Mosconi. A packed, noisy house welcomed all 10 players who had their chance to write their own piece of Mosconi Cup history. But the defining moment that emerged from a thrilling opening match had more to do with luck than skill, as Mike Deshane's fluke in the deciding rack saw the USA take the opening point. Next up, the first doubles match and a chance for Corey Deuel and Mike Deshane to push home Team USA's advantage. It all looked to be going to plan as they raced into an early lead, which they then extended to the verge of victory. But that victory was to be cruelly denied with a rare error from Deshane, all level after 2 matches. In match 3, it was down to Justin Bergman to regain the lead, but he faced one of the tournament's most experienced players, Niels Fyen. The nerves got the better of the American at times. Fyen showed no mercy, inflicting a heavy defeat. The European lead was short-lived. Match 4 saw the combination of Shane Van Boening and Skylar Woodward level the score, restricting Ocean and Appleton to just a single rack. Just the right note to strike as Team USA attempt to wrestle this trophy off the Europeans. Confirmation that the overall score is level after those opening 4 matches. The one remaining fixture will determine who takes an overnight lead and once again features 2 stalwarts of this tournament, Shane Van Boening of the USA and Europe's Darren Appleton. Commentary comes from Jim Weich and Jerry Forsyth.
Who is going to go to bed with the overnight lead? 2 apiece, Europe versus USA. And I can tell you it's as close as that in overall racks won and lost to 16-15 in favor of the Americans in terms of all the racks they've played here on day 1. Jerry, it doesn't get any closer than this.
No, and you talk about experience. These guys have got it. This is the 7th Mosconi Cup for Darren Appleton. It's number 9 for Shane Van Boening, so these guys know what to expect. And Shane wins the lag. That's been big.
Well, Shane and his partner Skylar Woodward looking terrific in the last match. They won 5-1 over the pairing of Appleton and Ocean. So psychological edge for me to Team USA. But Darren Appleton, he's a competitor, a fierce competitor. They all know it. And they always look for his name in any draw of any major event.
The final match of the day.
Well, this Shane Van Boening is obviously America's biggest star. I asked him when he started playing pool. He said, I don't remember a time when I was not playing pool. He started when he was a toddler.
Yeah, and he's making enough money now, Jerry, that he's got a sideline real estate.
Yeah, I know. He's picking up duplexes. Good for him. However, that 9-ball wanted to go. It just couldn't. But at least he made a ball. Well, I thought he did, but Darren's at the table. I must have miscounted.
He made a ball, Darren. He made a ball, yeah.
Okay, he did make a ball. Look at that 9-ball. How does that stay out of the pocket?
I'll tell you, and Shane raced over to see if this one was available. It's close. Look at Darren. I don't think Darren thought he made a ball, Jerry.
Oh, I know he didn't. Neither did Shane. Shane went back to his chair.
It was not hard enough, though.
No, but at least he's still at the table. That was a tough little shot.
Yeah. Extension, please. Thank you. Please. Got it.
Yeah, he's just asking for the rake. Shane's tall, so if he needs the rake, most people would. But this doesn't put him in good stead. This implement the Achilles heel of many top players.
You're on it.
Shane really wants to study this one. There are a lot of things that could go wrong here. And that 9-ball still sits right over the precipice of the side. But maybe not for long.
What a shot, look out! Oh! What a shot from Van Boening. The highs and lows. The roller coaster of emotions under the magnifying glass here at the Tropicana.
Well, he's able to smile about it. But I don't know how. That was a great shot, and then this happens.
It was full throttle going at the 9.
All right, settle down, everybody. Thank you.
Oh,
wow.
Look at Shane's face. He can't believe it. But he has such a great mental game. He won't even remember that next time he gets to the table. But that may not be during this rack.
Yeah, not if Darren has anything to say about it, Jerry. He's got a nice angle on this 5. He can swing the cue ball back up table for the 5. He's perfect here on the 4.
Yeah, there's nothing to stop him here. That's a little weak.
I'll tell you, the players have been struggling with the speed of the table for me. A lot of times coming up short. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, but you know, he was worried about the scratch in the corner and he wanted to leave it short, but he didn't want to be this short.
Yeah, again, now the cue ball may have to travel a little more than he would ideally like.
Yeah, he may have to go up and back. Indeed.
Oh, he's hit this one nice, though. He judged the speed nice on that one.
An unfortunate collision there with the 8-ball. You never want to hit a ball on the table unless you're trying to move it somewhere, and he wanted that ball to stay right where it was. Take another look. Just a little too much spin on that cue ball.
I think he can still cut this into the side.
Yeah,
it's a
I do
very
too.
very thin cut, though. Well, he's not looking at it.
He's going to cut it down into the corner. That was asking for a lot, but he's left it well. That's a long way away.
Well, what a let off.
Ball looks like it might have skidded a little bit. Shane goes straight for the safety. Wanted to be behind the 9. He didn't get there. And this shot is in Darren's playbook. These pockets are so tiny. Look at that. Whoa, he almost scratched. Now, where's the cue ball going to wind up? He's very fortunate to get this shape.
First rack goes to Europe. And a big one it was. And Boening had the first 9 down. Unfortunately for him, the cue ball also found the same pocket. But Appleton finally secures the rack.
Take another look at that shot. That cue ball just tracks right into the side pocket. Just when you think you've got things going your way.
Yeah, but like you say, Shane will refocus. He'll reset everything. It's only the first rack. It's a race to 5. Very short race by anybody's standards. Well, Appleton happy to get off the mark first. It's so important, though, for American hopes. They really got to stay close to Europe. I mean, if they can pinch this one and take the overnight lead, that's going to keep all that positive emotion in the crowd that comes in to the Tropicana tomorrow, Jerry. And it keeps that 6th man on Americans' sides.
Please, thank you. Settle down.
The 6th man has been huge today. Was able to squeeze the 1 ball into the side, but the 2 ball is laying in a very ugly place. He cannot see it. Not without hitting a rail first. The players seem to have the measure of that 1 ball going into the side pocket. It's getting shape on the 2 that they're having a problem with.
Marcus Shamat making his debut as non-playing captain. Played a number of years in the Mosconi Cup as a player, and a successful one at that. Hoping to bring all that mentality that he knows these players have to have. He knows what it takes to win this, and so does Mark Wilson.
Extension, please.
Both captains wondering who's going to get the overnight lead.
Yeah, and both captains have played in this event themselves. Mark was in the first year of the event.
Made the winning 9.
Yep. So Darren has got to find a way to contact that 2 ball and then hide.
Well, he's pushing out, Jerry.
Oh.
So he just wants to make sure not to leave a clear path to that 2.
I believe he has. I believe, no, not a gap that's going to let him make the ball, but at least he can hit it and get a really good safety out of it. Assuming he'll drive it 2 rails back up table. Needs it to slow down or it's going to fall into that gap or go faster. There we go.
Yeah, but he knows that he's left Darren a chance at a jump shot, and he did not want that too, going so close to the side pocket. He was looking for cover, but it's given Darren a glimmer of a chance here.
At the same time, he has to be able to play shape on the 3 so that he can get to the 4. And jump shots are hard to get a great position shot off of. Oh, but he's done it.
The European team will let you know how he did. That's why Shane didn't like the effort. Even though he knows that he had snookered Darren, he knew that that short cue was coming out. Oh, that's a good shot. That wasn't easy either.
No, that was great. Talk about having the cue ball on a string. It's all there for the taking.
Both of these players, you'd like to have their travel miles in your account.
Yeah, Shane's on his way back to China in January. He spends an awful lot of time on airplanes.
Respected the world over. Darren's number 5 in the WPA World Rankings, and Van Boening number 12. That really, just given that Darren plays in more WPA events than does Shane.
Don't let me talk to you again.
But it's Appleton who secures the early momentum. 2-0 over Van Boening in the race to 5. And Shane jockeying for the break cue. He'll break in the next. A long ways to go yet, but Appleton in the driver's seat.
Welcome back to Vegas for the Mosconi Cup. It's the USA against Europe and the final match on day 1. Darren Appleton's jump shot on the 2-ball laid the foundation for a 2-rack lead against Shane Van Boening. This is now the 3rd rack.
Shane knows he needs this rack. Can't let Darren get any further ahead. Let me remind you, this is an alternating break format.
Thank you very much, everybody.
So it's not like you can just keep your opponent in the chair. They're both going to come back to the table.
Europe leads 2-0.
Big break for Van Boening here.
Seven ball finally decides to fall.
Yeah, good news, bad news though, Jerry.
Yeah. Watch the brown ball. It gets kicked into the corner. But the result is no clear shot on the 1 for a pocket.
He's got the short cue out, so it's attack mode for Van Boening. Well, we've seen some terrific jump shots already. And we're only in day 1. And another one joins that list. It was a good shot, the last one from Appleton. We saw a terrific jump shot from Corey Duell earlier on, and that one not bad either.
Take another look. One ball into the corner. And cue ball down table with a shot on the 2. Well, that was weak.
You know, it's amazing, the Mosconi Cup. As great a player as Van Boening is and has been for a number of years now. And you look back at golf when Tiger Woods owned the game of golf, and I mean, he really didn't do anything near what people expected in the Ryder Cup, and it's a little bit like that with Van Boening. You know, everybody expects him to be the American banker and just win every match. He's just never performed nearly as well as the expectations, as lofty as they've been.
Yeah, and especially against Darren. Darren seems to have his number in this event.
Thank you.
You know, and if that's the case, Jerry, and you've got to think about the captain's pick, almost like Marcus Shamat. He expected Van Boening to come out, so you knew that he would have said to his troops, guys, Shane's coming out next. I know Mark Wilson's going to play that card. Who wants him?
Darren's always happy to take on any challenge.
That's the mistake. Overcut it, left it for Shane.
That's the error that Van Boening has been awaiting. Now let's see if he can keep the table for a while. He got there. He's in good shape now, Jim. Four ball down, cue ball across table for the 5. Anything but straight, and even straight's okay because he could draw back. That was a great shot. Anytime you can control the cue ball over that great a distance, you've done well.
One more good positional shot from 6 to 8.
Well, that's all he could ask for, really. Nice work.
We've said it so many times. There is no pressure in the world of pool like the Mosconi Cup pressure, Jerry. It has humbled the great ones before.
Well, he did not leave a great shot. This is kind of tough, but Darren handles it.
Still a lot of pressure on this one. And mark that one down. How big that miss on the 8 will be. We might look back at that one and say this is when America's hopes went out the window. It's early days.
Shane is just in shock. He does not understand what happened. But this is what happened. He missed the shot.
But that one's going to hurt him because that one's going to be very tough to forget. And again, Captain Mark Wilson down to have a word with Shane. He knows the importance of getting that one out of Shane's mind.
here for Darren. If he wins this 5-0 or 5-1, that's going to send the Europeans to bed with a very full heart. And the Americans know that they have to come back tomorrow and stop making errors.
Yeah, and you know something, Jerry, it isn't so much about the score as how the score got there.
Exactly. America had every chance to be in a huge lead at the end of the day, and they let it slide by.
And Europe is enjoying it far too much for American liking.
Are we on timeout or are we going? Are we going? Good. All right,
Well, the
thank you,
beneficiary
This is
of a
rack number
horrific
4.
miss from Van Boening.
Europe breaks, leading 3-0.
And a score of 3-0 welcomes Appleton to the break.
Well, he's got a ball down. Oh, he's got 2 balls down, doesn't he?
Yeah, and a thin cut on the 2.
Yeah,
If he
very thin cut.
Wants to try and slice this one into the corner. It looks like the 3 goes by.
Yeah, I believe it does, and he's
5.
got a big enough lead here where he can afford to take a chance on this shot.
Tough shot here.
Yep, that was nicely handled.
The cue ball very near the side cushion. Doesn't have to do much. You can see the 4, the pink 4 just to the right. And that'll be the next ball if he gets his 3, but tricky 3.
Yeah, you could tell his nerves were working on that shot. He dropped his shoulder just a tad. Three balls away from being on the hill. And I can't see him not getting there. Darren just keeps marching along the trail. He now enjoys a 4-0 lead in a race to 5. And Shane Van Boening is left to scratch his head.
Welcome back to Vegas and the Mosconi Cup. On day 1, it was the USA who took the opening match. Europe then took the next 2. The USA came back to level, but it's the Europeans who look the most likely to take the overnight lead. Darren Appleton leads Shane Van Boening by 4 racks, 1 away from victory. Commentary from Jim White and Jerry Forsyth.
He cannot afford to come up dry now.
Nice and easy now, everyone. Thank you.
Ken Schumann keeping the crowd in order. Well, he's got a ball down. The 9 ball nearly went in the side.
And I think he can get through to the 2.
I think he can make it.
He certainly got the 9 flying, didn't he?
He did.
The 3 presents a bit of a problem. Possible 3-5 combination. Looks like it's set, Jerry.
Yep.
And Shane's played onto it. Nice and straight would be ideal. You can just draw the cue ball back. He should leave the 3 to the same pocket. Well, it's not quite set, is it?
No, it's not. He's going to have to do a little work to get shape on this 3 ball.
Yeah, that was always going to be a bit tricky.
Oh, this is a hairy, hairy shot.
A lot different if you were a left-hander this shot, but stretching and having to reach, even as tall as Shane is, this is tricky.
Three ball is down, and the 9 ball served to serve up position for him. But now the 7 ball may be blocked from the corner pocket by the 9. That's the last thing he needed.
The only good news is that he's got the 6 in the same area of the table. So if he can leave angle in making this 5, the ideal angle on the 6 to hopefully open up that 7.
Can be done, but the 9 ball could wind up blocking the cue ball as well.
Well, he's got the angle here. He just wants to have a real good look at this and make sure he knows exactly what he wants to do.
It's not just hitting the cluster, it's hitting the right point on the cluster. Oh, beautifully done. Shane showed us what some really fine pool is right there. Well, Shane, it appears, will avoid the whitewash.
Shane, the first order of business, isn't it, Jerry?
Yep, getting on the board. You got to start somewhere.
The crowd will reward every ball and every rack that he secures, but he does need help from Appleton.
Well, Darren gets to come to the table at least twice with an alternating break format. Darren really focusing on his cue tip here. He doesn't want any miscues on his break. This is an absolutely brilliant shot from Van Boening to tickle that 7 ball out.
Yeah, that could easily have gone wrong. Corey and Justin in the background, Mike Duchesne, Team USA. You know, they're enjoying the atmosphere here. They know even losing this, they're only going to be 1 match adrift going into day 2. So they got to dwell on the positives. And you know that Captain Mark Wilson on the left of your screen there, he'll remind them of that.
Yeah, since it's only going to be a 1-game margin when we go to bed tonight, it's going to be very interesting on who the captains pick to go out first tomorrow morning. Darren just waiting for the rack to be put together.
It's a lot like Niels, isn't he? Just patient, stone-faced. He knows there's still work to do. He's taking nothing for granted.
Thank you, everybody. This is rack number 6. Europe breaks, leading 4 racks to 1.
If the ball goes down and Darren gets shape, America's in trouble. He's got a ball down. Really, he's got a shot on the one, too. Take a look at the way this table sets up. This could be it for today.
He's dead straight on this one.
Yeah, he is. I don't know what he's going to play, what kind of shot he wants to play for shape on the 3. Yeah, if he can get over there and take a reverse cut, the cue ball will be tracking down table for the 5. And that would be a good result for him.
Just kind of cheated the pocket a little bit. I think he actually wanted a bit more angle in this too. He's got to get down the far end of the table from the 3 to the 4.
Yeah, I agree. I think he wanted to bounce into that 7 solid. He didn't want to glance off one side of it. How precise do you have to be to play this game at this level?
Extension, please. Thank you.
He didn't quite catch it the way he wanted to, Jerry.
No, he did not. Now he's got a tough shot. Ken has told him this ball is not frozen, although it hardly matters because the cue ball is going to contact the rail after it hits the object ball. He's just got to concentrate on making it. Shape's going to be pretty automatic here. And he's made it.
What a terrific shot from Darren Appleton. Tremendous courage to take it on and talent to knock it in.
All right, nice and easy.
Take a look at this.
Thank you.
That's how the game is played. Beautiful, beautiful shot. Eight into the side. The 9 ball will follow it into the corner. And day 1 will be in the books.
And the pillow will be a lot softer for Europe tonight. Darren Appleton, 5-1 over Shane Van Boening. A convincing win, staking Europe to a 3-2 overnight lead. The race to 11 is underway here in the 22nd Mosconi Cup.
At the end of day 1, it's Europe who have edged ahead. They lost the opening match, but came back strongly, winning the next 2. Van Boening and Woodward steadied the ship for the Americans before that dramatic win for Appleton in the last match of the day. Plenty to contemplate after those opening exchanges, and Jim Weich now joins Laura Woods to assess day 1.
You know what? I think day 1 has been more a case of what's been missed than what's been made. It really is. A lot of these players are going to be going to bed tonight thinking about the chances they had, Laura.
And what do you put that down to? First day nerves?
You know what? The Mosconi Cup presents pressure that players rarely feel throughout the year. It's an atmosphere that you have to be here to experience. Even trying to tell people what the Mosconi Cup is like, impossible. But they have to play under these conditions, and you know something? It's about preparation too.
Now, I know how much last year's event in Blackpool amazed you, the crowd, the atmosphere. How does it compare out here in Las Vegas?
I'll tell you what, this is by far the most raucous crowd that I've heard in Las Vegas in all the years we've been here. It reminds me a little bit of the York Hall days even, and but wow, it's just an unbelievable atmosphere. And you know something? I think it's only going to get noisier.
Europe end the opening day with a narrow lead, much as they did 12 months ago. They used it as a foundation to claim an impressive victory. Here's a reminder of their performance from Blackpool in 2014. It's the final match, and the chance for Nikos Economopoulos to clinch a famous victory.
Didn't hear anything drop. But it looks like Nikos is just going to be pushing out here, Phil. Can't get through to the one. So now he's got to look for an area to be able to drop that cue ball.
Yes, at one point, for a split second, it was looking rather bleak for Van Boening, and then the 7 ball came to his rescue.
Push out.
Well, he's challenging Van Boening here with a long straight one. He knows Shane can't get the cue ball close to the 2, but there is a 2-3 on offer. Well, this will absolutely be a question as to whether or not Van Boening feels comfortable with the stroke or not.
Reset the clock, please. Start the clock.
Got the impression that was one of those instances, Jim, where he was hoping that Van Boening would take it on.
Well, he's left a chance for Shane. This one is available. And off 2 cushions, it's going to be tracking down towards the 2.
History repeating itself in the previous rack. Economopoulos attempted a safety, left an edge of the 1 out. Van Boening knocked it in and cleared up.
Beautiful shot from Shane. Like Nikos has given this rack up. Looking at the lay of the land, he's already mentally preparing for his break. And oh, wow, hold on to your hats. Well, I'll tell you what, Phil, I can throw my eyes away. I've seen it all. I did not expect a miss there, not from Van Boening.
In match 1 this evening, with some of Van Boening's mistakes, Jerry Forsyth, our colleague, was shaking his head. Right now, he'll be shaking it so hard, he might give himself a headache. Wow.
Incredible mistake from Van Boening, and we're just not used to seeing that from him at all.
And there'll be no one more shocked than Economopoulos.
Probably just took that one for granted, Phil. That's the only thing I can put it down to. Just careless. Oh, he just clipped that one a little too thick. Wasn't a long ways from being a great shot, but he just didn't get into that cue ball nearly as well as he wanted to.
At that pace, he did not play that as a safety. He played the running side shot to try and float the 8 ball across the bottom cushion. He only just made contact.
Well, Mark Wilson isn't applauding yet. He's got one more big shot he's got to come with. Overcut it. It was a fantastic shot on the 8, but he had to come with an equally good one on the 9.
And you know, with a break to come, this could be the Mosconi Cup right here.
Phil, prophetic words.
And you know, the man from Greece is like the Acropolis. He's on the hill.
Don't hesitate. Believe in yourself. The man cup.
And Van Boening, so much to think about now. Can he put those misses out of his mind? This is the first one, the one that we thought was going to be costly. Well, he got to the table again, a much more difficult look. That one he can be excused for, but that one cost him dearly.
Just what I was thinking, the 6 was unforgivable, wasn't it?
Thank you, rack 7. You're up to break, leading 4 racks to 2.
Nick, if you could ever find a break.
Settle down, please.
Well, he's got a good break. He needs this cue ball to slow down. Is it obeying?
Tantalizingly, I think the 4 ball might be blocking. It's marginal, it really is. He was pleading with the white to slow down.
This is close. Nikos has had a couple looks at it. Certainly from that angle, it looks like it's there, Phil. I think it is.
Jim, the dark days of American domination in this competition seem years away. Europe on the brink of winning the Mosconi Cup for the 5th time in succession and for the 7th time in the last 8 occasions.
They have flipped the script. Of that, there is no doubt. He's just got to hold his nerve. 4 shots away from madness here in Blackpool.
And how fitting, as you pointed out, Jim, that the winning 9 ball might well be potted by the MVP, the most valuable player. Nikos Economopoulos. Many thought it might be Shane Van Boening. Could not be further from the truth. Mark Wilson has put an awful lot of work into this enterprise with the American team, but it looks like being in vain.
And Johan Rushink, once again, a magician. He seems to read players and their capability better than anybody, and never ever question how he goes about his work. Nikos Economopoulos, bring them all down. The Mosconi Cup stays in Europe for the 7th time in 8 years, 5th in a row. The European celebration, this time in Blackpool.
They're at Pool's top table, and they're on top of the table. Fantastic stuff.
Can Europe defend the trophy 12 months on? So far, so good, but still a long way to go in the Party Poker Mosconi Cup of 2015.